Hey, welcome back to the Black Wallflowers. This is Taylor.
And Myra.
The Black Wallflowers podcast is two black introverted women discussing daily life, navigating an extroverted world. Okay. So both of us will watch a lot of YouTube. So I kind of got behind a little bit the last couple of days, but so today I caught up on Ricky Smiley. He has a YouTube channel. I don't know if you know that, but he has a YouTube channel, and he recently, like over the past year, got custody of his grandson. His grandson just turned 1, and so he did an Instagram story the other day, and his grandson really loves Paw Patrol, and so in the video, it was early in the morning. They were eating breakfast. He was eating out of a Paw Patrol bowl, like
Mhm.
pancakes, eggs, that kind of thing. And so people was going in on him on social media about why you got your son, your grandson eating out of a dog bowl. What kind of
Sorry.
grandfather are you? All this other stuff. And he was like,
What?
"What? My grandson? First of all, he loves Paw Patrol. It's a Paw Patrol bowl. I didn't go to PetSmart and got a dog bowl, and so here, eat this." And it ain't like he out there eating the scraps. He's eating a home cooked meal. Like, what are y'all talking about? So he kind of like went in this morning or earlier today about a post he did earlier in the week. Like, he was like, "What in the world? I'm out here trying to be a good grandfather. I done took my grandson there. What are y'all talking about?" But it just kind of reminded me of like, and then he kind of touched on this too. Like, you kind of have to be careful what you share, like on Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. And then so he was talking about like how if he like post a picture, he always be looking in the background, making sure his nightstand don't look dirty or anything like that, because people be like going in and just really nitpicking on things that you post, even though you're trying to post something really positive. But what do you think about that? Do you think they wrong for kind of going in on him about the dog bowl?
It's funny. It's hilarious to me because one, Ashton loves Paw Patrol too,
Mhm.
and I made him a blanket. Like one side had like dog bones and paw prints on it. It's just
Mhm.
the fabric that I picked out, and the other side had Paw Patrol on it. So I took it to my grandparents where they watch him, and my
Mhm.
grandma had a fit. Like, why did you bring Rue's blankets and give
What?
him? I'm like, no,
Wow.
no, it's Paw Patrol, and I think that's kind of what happened with him.
Mm.
Maybe not a lot of people like have kids around, and just seeing that it was dogs on it, and
Mhm.
and just thought it was a dog bowl. So that's
Yeah.
why I like died laughing because I'm like, my grandma did that to
Uh,
me.
but
But
clearly he's well taken care of, though.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
for him to even take him in, like, it's a boy, right? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for Ricky to take his grandson in, I mean, in the first place, it's not his responsibility, but for him
Mhm.
to like take on that responsibility, he's going to be well taken care of. So I don't know why. And I feel like social media is people just jump to conclusions and run with it
Mhm.
without looking at any context. Like, if you would have took the moment to look that up, like even well, I guess I don't know how you would look up Paw Patrol, or
Yeah.
even just ask him. I'm sure he probably said something about it in the video too. But if you took the time to like look into it instead of just jumping to conclusions,
Mhm.
that's the thing that I kind of worry about with like blogging and stuff too. I mean, I'm not Ricky Smiley big at by any means,
Mhm.
but if I choose to put something that I don't think is a big deal and then somebody like comments about it, I always worry about that, like people just blowing something out of proportion.
Right. Right. And I'm famous for like if I record something and I go back to edit it, I'm like, I don't want people to misconstrue
Mm,
what I said or what was in the background. Let
get
me just
cut.
not put that in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. But yeah, and like I'm nowhere near like Ricky Smiley level. Like I couldn't imagine. Like he's just sitting here like trying to show that he's doing right
Mhm.
by his grandson, and y'all worried about the bowl. Like the
Right.
bowl, like it clearly, and I'm sure it really has some really good food in there.
Mhm.
Like that was another thing with Ashton's party too. Like a lot of the decor was like food in dog bowls. And I'm like, nope. And people know
Mhm.
I have a dog too, so I ain't trying to take no risks.
Right, right.
But that's so crazy that they like went in on him.
Right. Yeah, he's a comedian, so he kind of made a joke about it, but he was kind of offended too. Like, what? Like, no, he loves Paw Patrol.
Yeah, I definitely would have been offended as well. Like
Mm,
that's hilarious.
right.
My grandma was so mad. Like, how are you? I'm
Don't,
like, this.
uh-uh.
Why would you think I'm that dumb to?
Right.
If I was going to do it to bring it over here.
Yeah, so that's my random thought of the day.
Well, mine's is fairly short. I guess it's not. I mean, it's a thought, but it's not a lot behind it. So I just want to say for all of those who told me that that Chick-fil-A macaroni and cheese was good, I am very disappointed in you.
Oh, really?
It's terrible. It tastes like just pure salt.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why is it so salty, but that's another thing with like social media. Like people hype that up. They was like, it tastes like homemade,
Mm.
yada yada. So they hyped it up, and then so I went ahead and bought it today. I'm like, this is the grossest thing. I'd rather have Kraft macaroni and
Really?
cheese.
It's that bad?
Yes, it is that bad. I would much rather have Kraft macaroni and cheese.
God.
So
Dang, we
to
haven't tried it yet.
yeah, don't bother. But to all to all of you who said that it tastes like grandma's, like it tastes homemade, and I
Mm,
was really skeptical because I mean, at the end of the day, Chick-fil-A is fast food, so
mm,
there's no way you can get that kind of taste fast
right.
food. Yeah, that was my random thought. Nothing much to
Okay.
it. But I I no longer trust anybody on the internet anymore. It's not about to get me again, and it was $3. I was mad.
And it's probably what, 3 or 4 spoonfuls.
Yeah, exactly,
Mm,
exactly. So I
wow.
no longer trust you people.
All right. So now we are gonna go ahead and get into the topic of today. So I read this article. So on, I think the site is called Bessie or Beast.com. But the article is by a lady named Sequoia Holmes. So I just want to get a little bit from what I read on there. But so she's black and she's also an introvert and she's a career woman. But a part I wanted to read it says, I'm used to feeling discriminated against because of my race and gender, but I'm only starting to understand that being an introverted black woman also has been the source of discrimination throughout my life, from being roped into sassy banter with my white male coworker because that's what I'm expected to do, to having my biggest criticism be, you should talk more. Black women are not allowed to exist in peace without providing entertainment to others, particularly not in the workplace where our livelihoods are at stake. Those unfair expectations begin in childhood. Um, so what we kind of want to talk about today is it okay to be um a black woman but also be an introvert? Um but I first of all, I feel like that is a stereotype that black women are loud and boisterous and that kind of thing, and as introverts we are the opposite. Um so I think what was the title of the article? Is it okay to be a black woman and be an introvert? But I don't know. I feel like it is wrong. And she was talking about a story that she had where um she was, I think, let go or something, and like I
Mhm.
guess in like the exit interview it was something about, we wanted you to maybe talk a little bit more, so it wasn't really about her performance or anything at work. It was they wanted her to be more loud and outspoken, I guess. um but how do you feel? Do you feel like we kind of get a bad rap, or we're looked at a little bit differently because stereotypically we should be loud and outgoing and that kind of thing, but we're kind of the opposite, especially in the workplace?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the article too. It is titled Black Women Aren't Allowed to Be Introverted. So, and I was kind of reading along like as you were giving like the cliff notes of it. But I think I definitely like agree with her on pretty much every point in this.
Mm,
Um, when she was talking about being let go, she had got well, she said she never got any bad criticism about her work itself. It kind of just came down to since she didn't talk to other people, they didn't really know who she was.
Mhm.
So, they let her go. And I feel like,
Oh.
that has happened to me where I feel like because I wasn't as outgoing or as talkative with my other coworkers, it was much easier for my job to let me go versus other people
Mm.
who may not have been meeting their goals or, basically being mediocre
Wow.
versus myself. So I was like, I'm reading all this, like, because even she said, she had a Vietnamese coworker who spoke up probably just as much, if not less, than her, but she was never criticized or, gave the critique of you should talk more
Mm.
because, she was Asian descent. So she's kind of, although it is like a stereotype, but she's kind of expected to be the model minority, so to speak,
Wow.
quiet, get her work done, and that's it. So, I mean, that stereotype works in, the agent descent favor, but for us, it's like, we're expected to be loud and talkative and
Yeah.
gossipy. And when we don't fit that, people automatically think like we don't like them or
Mhm.
we don't work well with others, things like that.
Right. Do you feel, I think towards the end she was talking about, or maybe it was a different one. They were talking about how like sometimes we feel like we have to go out of our way to be outgoing and have random conversations with people just so that people don't feel like we don't like them. But then like at the end of the day, that's exhausting because that's not
Mhm.
something that we would normally do. I definitely feel like that. I mean, even in the position that I am, I train people. So right now I make it a point to, before I sit down and really start my day, I'll go around, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Hey, let me know if you need anything. Even that's kind of exhausting. Like, God, I just want to sit down and do my work, go to lunch, get back to work, and then leave for the day. Like I really
Mhm.
don't want to. But I feel like I do kind of have to go out of my way to do that so that nobody feels that I'm stuck up or that I don't like somebody or I don't like my job. Because I do like my job.
Right, yeah. No, I definitely agree. And just to kind of give a little bit of what she says, like it is towards the end. It says, I lean into social conversations at work. I've gone out of my way to make small talk with my desk neighbors. I've laughed harder than usual at my coworkers' jokes, and I even cracked a few of my own. And as a result of my efforts at the end of the workday, I am drained both physically and emotionally.
Mm,
So, yeah, I mean, I agree as well, and I feel like in at least in your position, you have to be a little bit more talkative because you have these new people coming in. You want to give them a good impression of,
mm-hmm.
the workplace, but it's also not really your personality. So once you're done with that at the end of the day, like she said, you're completely drained.
Yes.
So I get that a lot because my manager tends to like come around every morning, which I like. I do like that he comes around and say hello, like catch up and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like I'm like being a little extra than what I normally would be
Mm,
because it is the workplace and I don't want people to basically say that she doesn't talk or criticize me for any of that. So,
right.
and I still get it, honestly. I can't I still get that. That was actually my critique during my 6 month was basically that you don't ask enough questions.
What?
And it's like I have like so many years of experience in insurance for one. I know how to find the answer. That I've been doing this for a while, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily need to ask. And then I'm also the type of person if I don't know an answer, I'm going to try to find it myself. If
Right.
I'm
Instead
asking
of
you a
going,
question,
yeah.
yeah, if I'm asking you questions, I went through every step and still couldn't find the answer. So yeah, that was my huge critique basically was that I didn't ask a lot of questions, although I was still overall, doing the work well and getting it correct. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously I don't need the help.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still kind of run into that even though I go out of my way to laugh at these lame jokes and and talk to people more than I normally would. I still get the same critiques. So it's like
mm.
I really don't feel like we are allowed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I don't know if that's what, because I don't think I've ever heard that myself, like, oh, you're so quiet, are we cool? That kind of thing. But I felt like
Mhm.
maybe it's something within myself because everybody around me, it's just like what we say in our intro, we live in an extroverted world. So I feel like I kind of have to fit into that mode of being an extrovert. So I feel like maybe that's something I kind of thought within myself that I need to get out there and, maybe talk a little bit more in the workplace, even though that's not really my personality. But I've never in the workplace really been told, hey, you should get out there and, talk a little bit more. But I feel like in order to fit in,
Mhm.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like people still know. They know it's not, your real personality to go out and about and do these things. Because I overall still get those comments about not being talkative or I'm too quiet,
Mm,
yada yada. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like there's no way to win in that situation other than I don't know. Because even if we are trying to be out there a little bit more, but I guess do it to the extreme, but then that's just going to drain me and make me hate the job even more.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like no win.
Hmm.
There's no win
Right.
there. But I think it goes back to, like she said, the stereotypes of black women are loud and outspoken and, they're, I guess, gossipy or whatever, but that's not everybody.
Right. Right.
I know. And then also, I don't think we aren't really afford the luxury of maybe finding a job that will allow us to be
Mm,
ourselves, so to speak.
yeah.
So, because I mean, not everybody can go out and, be entrepreneurs, be their own boss, or maybe go out and get a job with people who personally know them so they're more comfortable in that workplace. Like, overall, most of us are going to go to a company that we might not necessarily know people there.
Hmm.
And we just basically got to adjust, adjust who we are just to kind of fit in.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So do you feel like maybe people can't help it but to stereotype us? Because I mean stereotypically, like, what you see like in social media and everything, black women are, outgoing and boisterous and everything. Do you feel like people just can't help it and to people can't help but to think maybe something is wrong or maybe you don't like them?
Mm, that's I that's a good one because at first I was going to say I don't think other races, being that they're not in our community and only think that we all are one type of way.
Mhm.
But I've gotten that from other black people as well.
Mm.
Like I don't talk and things like that. So I don't really think it's a race thing. I just think it's more societal. So I don't know. I guess I guess we all kind of like have our stereotypes of what we expect people to act and what we expect them to be just by looking at them.
Mhm.
So I guess it's just a societal thing because like even like what she said with her Vietnamese and never was expected to like speak up and talk
Yeah.
at all. So I think it's just more of a societal thing. And like I said, it's not really something that we can escape because it is societal. Like we can't just most of us really. A lot of us aren't really born with people who can give us loans to start our own ventures and stuff like that.
Right.
So we have to go out into these workplaces. So
Mhm.
it's something that we just kind of have to adapt to. And,
Mhm.
it kind of sucks for us, to
Yeah,
be
it
honest.
does. Yeah.
And I think she mentioned in her article that a good percentage, or maybe it was in another one that we talked about on the workplace episode, but there's a good percentage of executives that identify as introverts.
Mm. Right, right.
So so I don't understand or at least get why some people are like in order for you to succeed you have to be able to speak to everybody and stand out and want to be
Mhm.
social and network and things like that.
They can't be introverts. They have to be they must be one of them introvert extrovert people, so they kind of like
Mhm.
a combination of the two. Cause I can't. And then like those high level executives, they don't go to work and then go right home. They go into the after party, well not after party, the happy hour after work and everything. They socializing with people after work too. I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I think they basically they're more like Chuck and Ray on the spectrum of introverts because
Yeah.
there's no way like, and I'm not trying to be some big exec of some company. If anything, I would rather have my own, but I feel like there's really no way you can get up into those places if you aren't networking, if you aren't, going
Mhm.
out your way and talking to people. Like there's no way because that's just the way the system is built up.
Mhm.
Because honestly, I feel like, just your work, your hard work, even if you're doing everything right, even if you're excelling, if you still
Mhm.
have some sort of like introvert tendencies, I bet you probably get passed over for somebody who's
Right.
more extroverted.
That's another reason why when I'm at work, like I speak to everybody anyway, but I definitely make it a point to smile, how you doing, that kind of thing to people who I know are a little bit higher up. So I don't necessarily want them to only see me as that girl who, don't really talk to people, don't is not really going out to the happy hours and everything, but I do want them to see me as that person who always speaks when I see you in the hallway, or spark up some type of conversation with people. So it sucks that I have to. Well, that's probably everybody though. You kind of want that high level, that higher manager or whatever to remember your face or remember that
Hmm.
you asked how their daughter was doing or whatever. But even as an introvert, I try to make it a point to speak to everybody because you never know that person might have an influence on your future within the company.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of sucks too because at least for me, it's not my personality to go out my way to try to speak to somebody. I'd much rather it be genuine. Like if
Mhm.
of course, if I pass you in the hallway, I'm gonna say hello, but I'm not gonna go out and let's go get coffee, let's go
Right.
do these kind of things. That's not me.
Mhm.
And I feel like if I'm going to, I kind of feel like that's brown nosing, but I don't think most people will agree. But I don't feel like if you, I don't know. I feel like honestly, if I could prove that I could do this job and I have proven that, I could do, I can succeed if it's like a promotion or anything.
Mhm.
I feel like that should be my merit, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not it though. Like
Yeah, it's not.
the people who go for a job, that person who is a little more outgoing or had that extra, 5-minute elevator, whatever conversation in the hallway
Hmm.
is probably more than likely to get the job over the person who, just does really good at their job. And it
Yeah.
sucks.
And they could even be better at their job than the other person, but I know who it's it's about who you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like some people, if they had like conversation with the extrovert versus the introvert, they feel like they know, quote unquote, this person better
Mm.
than they do the other person. And I think that's where we get the bad rep too. It's like, well, I don't really know this person. And like the girl Sequoia in the article, like I feel like honestly the reason why she probably got let go is because they felt like they didn't know her.
Mm.
And it was because she didn't talk.
Yeah. She
So
quiet. We
yeah,
don't know nothing about her. It must be something else going on in her life. Something.
right. Yeah, absolutely. And I like to keep my life personal. I
Mhm.
mean, and ever since like being let go as well, I feel like I am much more, personal than I was before. And it kind of sucks that basically this new place where I am is kind of getting a real like they basically have to build down my wall, but I kind of have to put that up there because of, what has happened in the past. So
Mhm.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It
like the
is.
the more you break it down, it is like really true. Like we can't be. I mean, you can, so to speak, but you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna be able to
Mhm.
move up if you want to stay with the company. If some downsizing go, you probably be one of the first to goes, and
Mhm.
that sucks, especially if you are good at your job and doing what you need to be doing.
Right. Because then I feel like as an introvert, when you are like let go or something like that, we're less likely to try to stand up for ourselves or be like, oh, well, why? Can you explain? We just kind of, well, I guess it is what it is. I guess I'll leave and go find something else. We're
Hmm.
less likely to fight.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
we
me
really are.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I agree because I just had this situation. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But where I went to Joann's and I was like, here, I have this like $15 off a $75 coupon, and it didn't work. Like she scanned it and it didn't work, and she was like, oh, maybe it's because it's a doorbuster, and no, coupons don't work on doorbusters. And I'm like, I know it's not a doorbuster. I
Mm,
know this because I come here every week. So
yeah.
but I didn't fight it. I didn't fight it. I was just
Mm.
like, oh, okay, let it go. And then when I looked at my receipt, the issue was because my subtotal wasn't 75. So
Uh,
when I left, I beat myself up because like, man, I could have got my $15,
yeah.
but I could have did that at the store and made sure I got that. But I don't like confrontation, so
Yeah, me either. I'm that
it's hard for
same
me to fight.
girl where if I buy like something and the seal is broken or something when I get home, I'm not that girl that's gonna go back to the store and be like, "Hey, I need to take this back. The applesauce is open." I just throw it away like,
Yeah,
"Dang, I
just
guess we're
throw
not
it.
having applesauce today."
Yeah.
So, I'm just not one of them people to go back to customer service and throw a fit about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it takes a lot. Like only time I really go back if like one time they forgot our waters and I need my water. So
mhm,
that's the only time I went back. But yeah, Chuck gets on me about that too. Like you're just throwing away money. I'm like,
yeah,
I can't do it. I don't want to
yeah,
there and have an argument about it.
yeah. Like, why don't you go back here? You take the applesauce back, cause
No,
I
he don't
don't
want
I
to
don't
do it.
wanna. Right.
Of course he don't want to do it.
Right.
But yeah, that's the struggle. And like I said, it's we basically have to adapt because there is
Mhm.
we live in a capitalist society, so we got to make money to help with the household and feed our family.
Mhm.
So I just can't. I literally can't go to work and be myself.
Right.
I
You
literally
gotta put
can't,
on.
and I feel like it's way extra being a black woman too. Because I'm
Mhm.
sure people go to work and put on that are not black women, but I feel like we have to layer it on thick, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I also saw something where it said, when you're quiet, that means you're also insecure, and that's not true at all. I read that on Afropunk.com. Quiet means insecurity. Often people are quick to assume that we're quiet because of our lack of self-confidence. And that's not true. I'm confident. I just don't have nothing, I don't
I
have
don't have
anything
nothing
to
to
say.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to say. I don't know you. You don't know me. And yeah, I got two friends. That's all I need. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm here to work and get back home. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm insecure at all. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the people talking the loudest are the insecure ones because they're trying to overcompensate
Right.
for whatever they feel like they lacking.
Mhm. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, these darn stereotypes, man.
I want that has to be the issue. I feel like a lot of people must think that since I'm quiet, I'm scared to speak up. I don't have
Mhm.
this in what I'm doing, and I wonder if that's why like I keep getting those critiques like you don't ask enough questions. So just because I'm quiet, you think I don't know what I'm doing?
Right, you don't
Basically,
understand or
and that's not the case.
mm.
So now it's like now I have to start asking questions.
Even though
Uh,
you might already know the answer or the
Yeah,
answer is in your note,
exactly.
now you got to get up and ask your manager.
Just so they don't
Mm.
think, but that That's so dumb. That's so
Yeah.
dumb. It's a waste of everybody's time.
Mhm.
It's a waste of time. But yeah, that was a really good article. I'll try to link it so you guys can read it. It's a real quick read too. If you guys,
Mhm.
it's really quick. But even if you're like more on the extrovert side, I highly suggest you read it so that
Yeah.
way you can get a glimpse of like what we kind of go through. So if you have someone that has these similar traits at your workplace, like don't think that they don't like you. It's
Right.
seriously just because they don't have anything to say.
Mhm. Yeah, we're just introverts. It's just the way we work. Yeah, I feel like it's not even just for introverts, but everybody can, learn a little bit.
But yeah, she does ends off that she is hopeful for the future because with our generations, the millennials are more open to changing.
Mm.
And I totally agree with her. I feel like we as a generation are being a lot more open with understanding people different personalities, different sexualities, stuff like that. We are way more open than what we have been in the past.
Mhm.
So hopefully in the future, like maybe when Ashton's in the workplace and if he is introvert, he won't be basically judged on just that merit.
Yeah.
Honestly, he probably have it a little bit better because he is a male, but
Yeah. God, that's the topic. Write that down. That'll be for next week. God, that is so true. I mean, they have their own set of challenges too, but when it comes
yeah,
to this, the guys definitely have a leg up.
for sure. They definitely do. So definitely won't be too worried about that. Maybe if I had a girl, I'll be a little bit more worried, but
Mhm.
yeah, like I do think that we are being a little bit more changing. And honestly, the workplace that I am is very old school still. Like we don't
Mhm.
even have a jean day, so that's how
Wow. No
good we
casual
are
Friday over there?
today. And the place I was at before, they right before I left, they just changed it to where you can wear jeans any day,
Really?
any day as long as you had like a button up or like a polo.
Mm.
Um, and we couldn't wear gym shoes Monday through Thursday, but Fridays you can wear gym shoes.
Mm.
So, yes,
Ah.
for sure. But but yeah, hopefully that's in the future once like
Mhm.
our kids are in the workplace that
I
it
hope so.
is. Whew, I hope they let go on the hours too. Hopefully by then.
Right. Yeah.
Have a work-life balance.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, so that about wraps up this topic for today. I don't have like an actual quote, but I want to like challenge everybody, even if you're on the introvert spectrum, but especially for the extrovert listeners that's just trying to get a little insight. Just wanted to challenge you all to like for for one, read Sequoia's article so you can get a little bit
Yes.
of background because that is us to a T.
Mhm.
But just kind of think outside the box with us. Just because I mean, I'm positive that you may know somebody that's a little bit on the introvert side if you are an
Mhm.
extrovert. But just to be a little bit more open, maybe come up with a conversation that isn't like small talk.
Oh,
We are we are and I got this from another podcast. He called it medium talkers. So we are people that like wants to have a little bit more of a meaningful conversation. So if
mm.
you're trying to get to know somebody that is a little bit more introvert, coming to us and talking about the weather ain't gonna cut it. So
Right.
so I just would like to challenge you all to kind of step out the box and be a little bit more understanding to people that are a little bit more quiet. And if you do want to reach out to us and talk to us, a more meaningful conversation is the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, please do. And don't assume that we're mad or that we don't like you or we're not happy, in the workplace or whatever, ask us. If somebody was to come up and ask me, "Hey, are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. Well, why are you not? Well, it's just I don't have anything to say. I'm kind of
Mhm.
an introvert. I will tell you that I'm an introvert, but I don't want you to. Don't assume that I don't like you
Right.
or that I don't like something. Ask me, and I'll tell you. No, I'm fine. You're actually a really cool person. I meant to ask you. Hey, what are you doing? Maybe
Yeah.
this will turn into a friendship. So talk to
Yeah.
me. Ask me a question.
Absolutely. I think because we are quiet, we kind of give off the non-approachable kind of vibes.
Yeah, I
And
get that.
yeah, most of us are really cool. I mean, I can't speak for all of us, but most of
Hmm.
us are really cool. Like we definitely have a conversation with you if it's, meaningful. We
Hmm.
again, we're medium talkers. We don't like small talk. We like medium.
Yeah.
So that would be my challenge for you all if you are like curious to get to know someone that's kind of like a little bit more quiet.
Hmm.
That'll be the way to go. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this week. As always, you guys can find us on all podcast platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play. We are all on all those platforms. Please make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new episodes. If you want to interact with us or maybe leave a comment, you can do that on our YouTube channel, and that is the Black Wallflowers Podcast.
Hmm.
Um, it'll just be the audio form of that there, and you can definitely leave comments in the comments below. Um, if you want to reach out to us, if you guys have any like topic suggestions,
Mm.
that'll be really cool to see what you guys would like to hear.
Yes.
Um, send that to us to our Instagram, and our Instagram is at the Black Wildfires Pod. So you can inbox us like suggestions or leave them on the comments, however you want to do it. If you're on Twitter, we are at Black WF Podcast, and you can also email us any suggestions that you like as well, and that's Black Wallflowers pod@gmail.com, and all the stuff will be in the show notes, or if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the link below.
Yes.
But that's all we have for you guys, so we'll see you all in another 2 weeks.
Bye.